Hey traders from around the world, holla at your boy. It's Jeremy Alexander Newsom with Real Life Trading, and it is indeed April the 4th, 2016. 4 times 4 equals 16. Hope you're doing absolutely great. Today is Monday, and I got a softball game tonight. 2, in fact, actually going from 8 to 10 p.m. A double header. Myself, a few other Real Life traders on Team Label Live will be representing, and hopefully I can play to the best of my ability, which... It's not that great, but I'll give it my best. That's for sure. I'll be playing. That is a fact. Number 12 on the field. Let's see what happens. Robert Meek and his wife Gina are in town. His birthday is today. Robert, happy birthday. He's visiting from Dallas, Texas, and tearing up Nashville as we speak. So my friend, hope you're having an absolute blast. Let's check out the general markets today. Very small range on the SPY. We've been accustomed to that as of recently. My analysis as of this morning, 4-4-16, likely an inside day candle in the SPY. So an inside day candle is simply a candle that opens, closes, the high, the low. The entire day's range is within the high and the low of the prior day. So far that is the case and likely will still be so. Now keep in mind everything is subject to change in volatility. Here's the Dow Jones ETF, which is the ticker symbol DIA. And you can see this one we have broken above that trend line, and we are kind of retesting it. Yes, there's some resistance right here in the Dow, but I do think the market just slowly and ever so slightly continue up a little bit higher. Here's your XLE, which is the energy ETF. And here's kind of my drawings really from this day. As of the 23rd of March, here are my 2 thought processes on what the XLE likely is going to do. So really, I think we do trade down to about 58, and then from there, do we bounce? Do we not bounce? I'm not entirely sure, but I think Roy Slusher's covered call will expire just fine. Solange got a 66-65 bear call spread expiring next Friday. So again, XLE, a little bit of a support, very strong trend line. It isn't a bearish confirmed trend, but it did and has broken above this little support at 58.12. So we'll see if it makes it back down to there and if we bounce bullish or we roll over lower. As you guys know, I still think that there's a possibility that we make a little bit of a lower low out there on energies. USO starting to do that as of right now. Let's talk about Apple, ticker symbol AAPL. Apple did hit the target. Loving that. Big fan. So we've been keeping an eye on Apple bullish really ever since this bullish new white soldier gap and go on the 1st of March. So it took about an entire month for it to trade into its second target. First target was the 100 simple. Second target was the 200 simple. So for those of you who have some shares on Apple, keep in mind earnings is right around the corner, and 115 covered call expiring in 2 weeks would probably be a good candidate just to bring a little bit of profit. Ray Rue, he had himself a 98.50 April week 2 put sale. So Ray, that one's going to expire just fine this Friday. Great job for you, man. Locking in some profit on the put sale. Beautiful. I love it. So that's what we got. And today, here's my analysis this morning. I think Apple will look similar to the 11.3 candle. The 11.3 candle is the last time that we've interacted with the 200 simple moving average on the daily chart. And so far, those 2 candles do look pretty sensationally similar. So that's kind of what I'm expecting. I don't think that we're going to roll over like we did back then necessarily. I do think we could pull back a little bit, but we'll have to kind of see what Apple does. Speaking of earnings season is right around the corner, just a few days away, and earnings is kicking off again. We're having amazing earnings, some great gaps, and if today was any indication of how April is going to go, I'm pretty pumped about April. Ladies and gentlemen, Smith & Wesson was a perfect, absolute gorgeous bearish gap and go that worked well all day long. Look at that gap. Anyone who bought yesterday was trapped. It opened below the low of these candles, opened below the low of that candle. This gap was flawless. I think a blind squirrel could have made some R's on this trade today. So let's talk a little bit about how we played it early this morning, and then there's been a few other times we got a chance to trade this one and set it up, and it just looked really nice. So the official trade this morning, granted it was a little hard to short in the first few minutes through Thinkorswim. A few people were mentioning that to me, but through the hedge fund or any other type of trade, it looked like it worked out okay. So Smith & Wesson, early this morning, this 2-minute candle and the 1-minute candle had the exact same low, so entry, stop. That was trade number 1 that worked out well. Trade number 2 was based on the 5-minute chart. So let me hop over here to the 5-minute chart. And Smith & Wesson started forming a really good basing pattern, which means that a bunch of candles had the exact same low. So let me kind of zoom in here just a little bit. and show you guys this little setup. So here is all of this support action right in there. Entry, stop, and target was the 100 simple moving average, so that one worked out really, really well. And then just a few moments ago, this one, 2311 by the stop right about there of 2332. That one also worked into the 100 simple moving average. So pretty much every trade you drew on Smith & Wesson worked incredibly well today. Phenomenal gap. One is all you need, realistically, ladies and gentlemen. You find that gap, that trade that just works out well, that was one of them that did some amazing, amazing moves. So today, good day to be had. Tesla. So almost, what I think there's a few numbers depending on who you read, but it's pretty safe to say over 250,000 models pre-ordered on Tesla. So this is reacting very well in the markets out there. So Tesla at this particular moment in time is bullish. The gap on Friday was bullish. I mentioned in the morning that we would gap up, trade down, and bounce, and I'll be darned if that's not exactly what happened. We gapped up, traded down, and bounced very, very well. So we did buy some call options as a swing trade on Tesla on Friday. Those are up pretty nicely today. Bottom around 238, right on the pullback into old resistance, new support. Stan got himself into a bull put spread, and I got a wager on Tesla as of Friday. So the newest wager is I'm going to grow a mustache for an entire month if Tesla breaks below 224.19 in the next 3 weeks. And the next 3 weeks as of this Friday when I made that wager. So I did add and reduce some of my risk on Tesla. I am in April week 5 calls, and my target is about 266 and some change. So I like the gap today. Today was a very, very good bullish gap. It did have some good bullish sentiment on the news, on the gap, on the sentiment. So Tesla looks a little bit higher to me, but that is my wager. I do not think we break below 224.19, and if I do that in the next 3 weeks, looks like I'm growing out a mustache, which is probably going to be terrible, but I'll do that. Shopify, one of our swing trades I've been updating you guys on. Looks nice. Made a little bit of a higher high and a higher low. Volume came in today, had a nice little gap. It is above the 200 simple moving average. It's at least doing what I asked it to do. So at this point, still in Shopify, going to increase the stop a little bit higher tomorrow, and then the 2-hour target is 31.24. GILD still in, GILD bullish. Had a little bit of a candle today, increased the stop at 95.65, or pretty much the 100 simple moving average, the target on GILD. Trigger symbol SC, Santander Consumer is our newest swing trade. It is open, has not triggered yet, but I'm keeping a very close eye on it. $9.90 looking to buy, and a stop at $8.97 at that particular price. LABU. My good friend Daniel Mitchell out there was looking and asking what I thought on this particular stock, which is the Direxion Daily S&P Biotech ETF. So right now you're definitely getting some accumulation down here, buy low, sell high kind of area. So my personal thought at this point in time on LABU, I would like to see either a breakout of this price, which would be a close above 34.69. If that happens, then I would like to get an at the money, probably May 35 call on LABU if we can break out of there. If we can get a bearish candle tomorrow and then a close above that bullish, I would like that trade even better. Since it is an accumulation process and the volume is coming in, if we roll back down to the low, $20 appears to be a pretty good support. The risk reward would be there. And if it makes it back down to the low level of about 20, you could probably buy a $20 May or June call on LABU as well. Here's circuit symbol X for my last stock of the day, and United States Steel. My good buddy Bob getting into a $16.50 put sale. His cost base is about $13 and some change, so great job, doing very well on X, my good friend. So at this particular point in time, for those of you who are keeping an eye on X, you got a great bullish gap. It's broken above its long-term moving averages. It's having a good run, but a relatively steep incline. I mean, if you think about it, it was $8 in February, and it's now $16. That's a 100% gain on X in a month. So it's a little steep. So I'm looking for X to probably do something like this and get a little bit of a bounce. So if you are also looking to do a put sale, you could probably consider one before earnings, maybe sometime in April. 15 or 14 expiring next Friday does have some decent premium on United States Steel. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for watching this Monday Real Life Stock Review. Excited to see if the Tesla wager works out. I hope it does. I don't look great wearing a mustache. As far as the other traders out there, there's a lot shaping up. I'm excited about what the market's going to do. I'm pumped about earnings. And if you have any stocks or anything you want me to look at before Wednesday, feel free to email me, message me on Twitter, @NewsomeNuggets, LinkedIn, Facebook. I'm all over the social media networks, and I'm excited to be interacting with you guys every single day. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're always pumping out good free content. And until next time, remember, love life, live life, and trade. See ya.